This program is proudly brought to you by Toyota.
Well, good morning, everybody. This is Barry here. Coming up on episode 111, we will be talking about television themes, and I'd like to hear from you about what your favorite television theme is. So let me know in the comments down below here. I'd like to hear from you. Okay, so coming up on episode 111 today, we talk about television themes and using up the leftover food and not coming in to work sick. So that's all coming up today on episode 111. This is Barry Fair. And it's a very good afternoon to you and to all the viewers out there. The top temperature today is 20 degrees, and it's the 14th of July today, and it's 2 minutes after 4 o'clock. Barry Fair and Alec Taylor with you in the studio for yet another edition of the show. Well, this is episode 111 now, so the episodes are creeping up another ladder. Well, today we're going to be talking about television themes and using up the leftovers and what to do with the kids during the school holiday, and checking the dates on news, checking the use by dates on foods again, because we feel that it is an important subject. And joining me now for episode 111, here is the man himself, Alec Taylor.
G'day, how you doing?
Welcome to the show, and welcome to episode 111. Well, as I've just said, the episodes are creeping up on us. Here's Alec now to open episode 111 with this.
Yeah, they really are, mate. So you've been ticking them over, and 111 is a great number. It's a huge number. I really like that number, and you're doing a great job, mate. And yeah, sounds like you've got a good show planned. We've got lots of interesting things.
Well, the first thing we're going to talk about is television themes. Now, the first television theme we're going to talk about is The Greatest American Hero. Now, do you remember that theme tune sung by Joey Scarborough? Okay, and that was the start theme for The Greatest American Hero. Now, that song came out in 1981, and it was played on Solid Gold and on various radio stations. Here's Alec.
Yeah, oh mate, what an amazing song. It was not just a theme song, right? It was it was like a hit song of the time, wasn't it? Like a pop song, and it was super popular, and a great song too. Would you like me to play it? I found it on YouTube.
Well, we might go out with that song.
Great.
So just hold that.
Will do, mate. No
And
problem.
that song could be found on a cassette called Rock Trip 82. So it was on side 2 of that cassette, which unfortunately I do not have anymore. So another great theme song, was Robin's Nest. Do you remember that one?
Robin's Nest. No, I don't remember that one. Come on, tell us about that one.
Well, it was, Robin's Nest. We can play a bit of it before the end of the show. And what about MASH?
Oh, that's a classic, right? A huge classic, and that's one that that so many people around the world would know that one because it's been famous for so long, right? Decades, just decades.
Now, MASH originated in 1972. Unfortunately, I was not around at that time, but MASH was set in America, in the park. Okay, so 4777 MASH. So if you ever watch the opening credits, you will see a helicopter coming into land and the guys unloading a stretcher, I think. You know.
Yeah, that's right, mate. So I think the premise is that it's a mobile army surgical hospital, right? And
Yep.
so they're unloading patients, wounded soldiers, who they're going to operate on and help, give medical care to. And it was just an amazing classic show with a classic theme song, right?
It was, and the next one we're going to talk about is the Dukes of Hazzard. Now, that theme song was sung by Waylon Jennings. So if you see the orange car going airborne, you will know what I'm talking about. Here's Alec.
Yeah, that was super famous at the time, wasn't it? Like it was a huge show, and the theme song was well known as well. And for a little while, it was really popular, wasn't it? Like it was a very popular show. Boss Hogg and Daisy and I don't know the boys driving their orange car, and they always seemed to jump the river, didn't they? Almost like every episode, they managed to jump the river in their amazing car. It was a very cool show. Cool song.
And if you ever watched Prisoner, now I don't need to tell you, but that was also a classic theme song too. You may remember we played it on the hits of 1979 last year. Now that theme song was sung by Lynn Hamilton. Here's Alec.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. That was when we went and recorded a radio show, wasn't it? And it was on the playlist. You played that song, and yeah, that was. You said what year was it? 1979.
Yeah, and that's what we did.
Gosh, you must have watched it later, right? Would you have watched it? You wouldn't have watched it in 1979, would you?
No, I was way too young for that.
Yeah, for sure. You would have watched it. Yeah, quite a famous theme song for that show as well.
So the other theme song, Good Times. Now that show was recorded at the CBS television studios in Hollywood, California. So another great show was Hogan's Heroes. Do you remember that?
Oh man, I really remember that one. I don't remember the theme song from that show. Do you remember the theme song?
I do, and that was also recorded in America for the CBS television network.
Nice. Yeah, it was a very funny show, wasn't it? Funny and quirky and interesting and really popular for a while, wasn't it? It was an amazing show.
And what about Mr. Ed, the talking horse? Surely you remember that.
A horse is a horse, of course. I do remember that one. But that one wasn't that in black and white? That was a really old show, right?
It was,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, really old show. An absolute classic. I don't think they play it anymore. I think they played it for years and years, and I don't think it's on TV anymore.
And remember how we were going silly last week with the Wonder Woman
Oh,
theme song?
yes, the Wonder Woman theme song. That's such a good song, though, right?
It
Like,
was.
yeah, that was a really awesome song and perfect for that show. That show was so much fun.
So we will cut to another shot and continue with television themes. Well, the next TV theme, you may have heard this one, Spider-Man.
Mm,
Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.
yes.
And the A-Team, do you remember
Oh, I
that?
do remember the A-Team. I don't remember the theme song. I remember the show, but not the theme song for some reason.
And what about Cagney and Lacey?
Cagney and Lacey, I don't remember much about them. I definitely remember the name of the show. Were they like two police detectives or something?
I think so. We'll have to look that
Yeah,
up.
we'll definitely have to look that one up. But I don't remember it well, Cagney and Lacey. I remember that it was a show, an American TV show, I think, about policemen, two policemen, I think.
So the next show, moving forward to the 70s, let's go back to the year 1976 when the Young Doctors came on board. Now that show was produced by the Grundy Organization Production, and it was set in Australia, and you remember the music by the executives. Now we have used this on the intros and outros. Okay, so another show produced by the Grundy Organization was Blankety Blanks with Graham Kennedy and Ugly Dave Craig. Ugly Dave Craig. Here's Alec.
Yeah, Blankety Blanks. I vaguely recall that. I think that was like an afternoon TV show, right? And it was some kind of comedy, like game show or something.
Probably.
And they had some celebrities on there, and yeah, I vaguely recall that one too.
And what about Stuart Waxter?
Well, was he? He was on the panel, right? And he was quite a funny person who was on the panel, but he was a regular. He was always there.
Yeah, and Nolan Brown,
Oh yes.
Carol Reid, and John English was on there too, and John Paul Young and Barry Creighton.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
And the announcer was Don Blake.
Right. Oh wow, mate. That's impressive. You can remember all of those names.
And the associate producer was Tony Connolly. Okay, he helped with the show.
Nice.
The next show, game show, was Family Feud. Now that came out in 1979. Okay, so that was hosted by Tony Barber, and that was also produced by the Grundy organization. Okay, and then on the 14th of July, which is sale of the century's anniversary, so they started like 46 years ago, I think.
Wow.
Would I be right on that? So,
I reckon you would, mate. So,
1980.
yeah, that's it. 46 years ago.
Yep, so they debuted on the Nine Network and it ran for half an hour, Monday to Friday. So what happened on that show was if you answered a question correctly, you got $5. But if you got a question wrong, you would lose $5. And at the end of the game, there was a champion. And then at the end of the show, Tony Barber used to say, keep smiling and bye for now. And then the announcer would say, this has been a production of the Grundy organization for the Nine Network. So that's how they signed off. Here's Alec.
Yeah, can you still watch it, mate? Do you know? Is it possible to watch it like on YouTube or anything?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Because yeah, it was a long time ago. Well, a long time that it started, right? And do you know how many years they kept on making it for?
Well, Tony's last show was in 1991, and then Glenn Ridge took over.
Right, and it went for another couple of years though after that, didn't it?
Yeah, so the first host was the first co-host was Elise Platt, I think.
Yes. Was Delvine Delaney a co-host, or was she on? She was a Sale of the Century, wasn't she?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but we can sure do some research on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So another show that was produced by the Grundy organization was The Restless Years. That was from 1977 through to 1981. Okay? And Matchmates was there. A perfect match that began on the 30th of January 1984. That was when Greg Evans got a phone call from the Grundy organization, and Perfect Match was a great big show hit. There were 3 contestants on the show, and a lot of singles, and the host was Greg Evans, who is now a wedding celebrity.
Is he? Wedding celebrant.
Yeah.
Huh.
So then,
And there was a robot too, right?
yeah, and Dexter.
Dexter the robot.
So Max Rowley was the announcer, and he had his famous signature sign up saying Max Rowley speaking. And another program was It's a Knockout. Do you remember that one?
No, that one I can only remember the name of. Tell us about It's a Knockout.
Well, it was where you play games and things like that, and you got points.
It's like challenges and stuff, was it?
Yes.
Okay.
And another Grundy organization show with Secret Valley and Chopper Squad and Neighbours, which you remember.
Definitely. Well, Neighbours was one of the longest running shows in Australia, wasn't it? I think it's finished now, finally.
Yes,
But Home and Away is still going, though, isn't it?
but it wasn't produced by the Grundy organisation.
No, right.
So, Cop Shot, now, another Grundy organisation show was Glenview High, if you remember that.
That one I don't remember. Can you tell us about that one?
Well, I didn't watch it.
Ah, okay. I didn't watch it either. I don't know much about that one. But most of the shows that you have been talking about, I can remember. Glenview High, that one not so much.
And Sale of the Century, we already covered that. Play Your Cards Right, if you remember that show.
No, I don't remember that one either. Was that another game show?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Well, there've been a lot of shows. Grundy was busy, right? They did a lot of TV shows.
And when Grundy was sold to Fremantle Media, it was up to them. So Wheel of Fortune was produced by Grundy as well, and Chopper Squad, like we mentioned, Family Feud, we mentioned that. Okay, now Wheel of Fortune, guys, started in 1981 in Adelaide, and the first person was Ernie Sigley. Hear that one?
This is Wheel of Fortune you're talking about.
Yeah,
Ernie Sigley was the host.
yeah,
Yeah, okay. Wow. And that was also a very long running show, wasn't it?
it was.
Yeah. And quite famous. Quite a famous show. Did you ever use some of the music from Wheel of Fortune, or was that a different song? A different show?
Well, I've still got the intro and outro to that clip that
We used the thinking music from Wheel of Fortune.
yeah.
Yeah, wow. What could you win on Wheel of Fortune? Can you remember?
Well, cars, holidays,
Wow.
you name it, it happened.
That's cool.
And then Wheel of Fortune moved their productions from Adelaide to the Channel 7 studios in Sydney. But sadly, all of those shows that I have mentioned have been shelved. Hear that now.
Well, that's what happens with TV shows. All TV shows, they go for a few years. If they're really successful, they go for many years. Like I think Wheel of Fortune went for many, many years, didn't it? So, but not really. There are almost no shows in the world that last forever. They all finish at some point, don't they? And I guess the opportunity is to kind of enjoy them while they last, and to enjoy the good seasons. And are there any shows that you like to rewatch?
Well, Prisoner was one of them.
Uh-huh.
The first episode went to air on the 27th of February 1979.
Uh-huh.
And the first governor of Wentworth was Mrs. Davidson. She was played by Patsy King, who is now passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie Doyle, Lizzie Birthworth, you name it, and the freak, here's Alec.
Yeah, those were they the original cast members?
Yes,
Yeah, wow. And that's one of the shows that you've watched, you kind of revisited and watched again?
yes.
Yeah. Have there been any other shows that you've watched, gone back and watched again?
Chopper Squad,
Yeah, okay. Do you have them on a DVD?
no.
Do you have any of them on DVD?
No, I'm still trying to search for that, actually.
Yeah, it might be hard to find, I guess. I suppose the best way of watching would be on YouTube, right?
Yeah, well, now, the last TV thing we're going to talk about today is Welcome Back, Kotter. Do you remember that?
I sure do. And that was a very famous theme song, wasn't it? I think that might have even been another one of those theme songs that made it to the radio. You know? And certainly it was very famous and a very popular show too, wasn't it?
Yeah, and do you remember Sons and Daughters?
Yes. That's right. That's Sons and Daughters.
And Pat the Rat?
Pat the Rat. Pat the Rat and Sons and Daughters.
Yeah.
Wow. Mate, that is a blast from the past, isn't it? I had completely forgotten about that character.
So, before we move off the TV themes, there were many cartoon TV themes like The Smurfs, He-Man, She-Ra, The Incredible Hulk, Mask, Terrorhawks, if you remember that. Okay. And the theme song for the Cartoon Connection, which unfortunately we don't have. And there was another show called Agro's Cartoon Connection. Here's Alec.
Yeah, Agro's Cartoon Connection. And Agro was the puppet from Hey Hey It's Saturday, right?
Nope.
Was he not? Did he come? Was he on Cartoon Connection first?
He was on Today FM first.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow! And then had a cartoon show, and but then wasn't Agro on? Was that a different character on Hey Hey It's Saturday?
That was Dickie Neat.
Oh, I completely mixed up. I completely mixed up. All right, so Agro was on Cartoon Connection, and Cartoon Connection had its own theme song.
Yeah. We'll play that for you.
Oh, have you found it, that one?
So that's the end of the television theme journey. Let's talk about making delicious cakes. You're with Barry and Alec. It is 20 minutes after 4, I think. Would I be right?
29 minutes after.
29 minutes after 4. Well, today, for segment 3, we're going to talk about using in-date ingredients. And before we discuss that, I made a banana bread today with dairy-free cream cheese icing. And Alec, I can tell you my mouth was salivating when I made it.
Nice, mate. Sounds fantastic.
So, the rules about cooking, guys, we have said this on many occasions. Always use fresh ingredients. Here's Alec.
Yeah, mate, that is a really good rule to follow, isn't it? It's fresh ingredients. Not only will it not make you sick if you eat fresh ingredients, it'll actually taste better, right? They always make your food nicer, and you also can make sure they don't make you sick.
And just sleeping off the track a bit, I forgot to mention After Leyland Brothers.
Oh, back to theme songs briefly.
Yeah,
Little interlude there with us, the Leyland, us, the Leyland, us, the Leyland brothers.
yeah, that was a good show too.
It sure was.
And
A famous
here's,
theme song.
and here's Humphrey.
Here's Humphrey. Oh, you can't stop, mate. You're addicted to theme show, to theme songs of famous TV shows.
Yeah, but
That was a classic. Here's Humphrey.
yeah, but getting back onto the food porn now, always make sure you use fresh ingredients, guys. Here's Alec.
Yeah, that's right, mate. And as you said, we always need to use fresh ingredients. I think you said this before on your show, haven't you? So check your use-by dates. And if you don't, and if you use old ingredients, it can make you sick.
Yep, so the way to tell if something is off, guys, have a sniff of it. Here's Alec.
But yeah, always a good technique, particularly something like milk or cream. Good to smell it, and you can pretty quickly tell if it's gone off, if it's no good. And it is possible for it to go off before the use-by date as well. So always a good idea to smell your dairy products before you eat them.
And always, and it's when you go shopping too, guys, please don't buy something that is out of date. Here's Alec.
Yeah, good to check the dates, isn't it? As you're shopping, make sure that you're not accidentally picking up something that's out of date. Check the dates as you're shopping, and then you're ensured of getting good food that's going to last a while you can use.
And if you are having leftovers for lunch, guys, okay, after kids, here's Alec.
Yeah, if you're having leftovers, make sure you warm them up well. Yeah, so maybe your kids might want the leftovers. It's good to share leftovers. I think it's important to heat leftovers through, isn't it? So you don't-
Yes, especially meat, because if you don't heat up the meat properly and it smells bad, okay, you must heat them up properly. Here's Alec.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, and particularly meat products, right? They can make you sick. So just give it a really good amount of time in the microwave. Make it really piping hot, and that'll kill any bacteria that are in it, and make sure that it won't make you sick.
Well, to end this food segment of the show, I've got my jam book here with me today. And we're going to talk about green tomato chutney. Now, we brought this up, okay, on the show back in the 90s. Now, what is a chutney, I hear you ask? Well, it's a sweet and savory spread. Here's Alec.
Oh, absolutely delicious, mate. I love a good chutney on a sandwich or a roll. Very, very yummy.
Okay, so what you need for this is 2 kilogram pounds of green tomatoes, peeled, cored and chopped coarsely. 2 large brown onions, if I've got that right,
You do?
chopped coarsely. 2 large green apples, 400 grams. peeled, cored and chopped coarsely. 2 cups of 440 grams of raw sugar, okay, 2.5 cups of malt of cider vinegar, 1 cup of sultanas, and 4 long red chili chopped finely, 6 cloves of garlic chopped finely, and 2 teaspoons of salt. Kosher salt, I think it is.
Kosher.
Kosher salt.
Yep.
Okay, so what you do is put all your ingredients in a saucepan over high heat. Stir without boiling. Add sugar and stir until sugar dissolves. Is that right?
Yep.
And then you pour you and you let that simmer for about 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay? And then the chutney will be thick. Okay? And then you put your hot chutney into hot sterilized jars and seal immediately. Label and date when cold. Here, darling.
Mate, that sounds absolutely delicious. And the picture looks fantastic of a really yummy roll with chutney across the top. It is making me hungry, mate. Absolutely making me hungry right now.
And again, that's my fault.
Yeah.
Okay, so the rules about making chutneys and jams. Again, please use fresh ingredients, okay? Don't use off ingredients, okay? Because it will make you quite sick. Here's Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good to use fresh ingredients, and it'll make yummier food as well. And yeah, don't use anything that's out of date.
And always use hot, clean, sterilized jars, okay? Here's Alex.
Yeah, it does say that, doesn't it? And I guess it's because you don't want there to be anything, any bacteria or anything inside the jar when you're putting the chutney in, so the chutney will last. So you have to have sterilized jars.
Well, I hope that you enjoy this recipe. And with segment 3, I think, today. Now, do you remember we brought up a subject about jobs? Okay? Okay? When people leave and go for a current job, okay, please be respectful of their wishes. Here's Alex.
Yeah. And when did we last talk about this? This was a while ago, right?
Yeah,
Has someone recently left a job?
yes, they have.
That's the knives.
I don't want to mention their names.
Fair enough. It happens, doesn't it? Like people don't stay in jobs for their whole lives. Most people will be in a job for a few years, and then they'll leave the job. And it's nice to be with them while they're there. And then you need to kind of wish them well, don't you? And hope that they enjoy their next job.
Okay, so we won't go on about how to go for a job because it's on one of our other shows, but please do wish them well. And that is all we will say on this part of the show. Well, as usual, we have come to the end of another fantastic episode at 20 minutes to 5. You've been watching episode 111 today. And my word, Alex, 111 episodes, mate. What an achievement. Here he is.
Yeah, mate, it's a great achievement. It's a huge number of shows, and that's just the number of shows that you've been making in this latest series, isn't it? Because you made many more shows before this series.
Yeah.
So it must be hundreds and hundreds of shows that you've made over the last few years, and lots of great content, mate. And it's been a lot of fun too. Had a lot of fun producing them, talking about interesting things, sometimes some very funny things, right? And it was good talking today about those theme songs, remembering all those funky old theme songs.
And we might as well close this show with what we started with. Okay, the first TV theme song we talked about was Spider-Man, I think.
The Greatest American Hero.
The Greatest American Hero that came out in 1981. So, and then the second one was MASH, starring Alan Alda.
Yeah, Alan Alda. He has a funny name, doesn't he?
Pretty confusing, mate.
Yeah, he is.
And then we talked about Robin's Nest, and then we moved on to what were the other ones?
Oh, there were so many, mate.
There were so many. So,
Mate, you remembered like so many TV shows. It was impressive.
and did you ever watch the Aussie Ostrich video show?
No, not a video show. Was it like Funniest Home Videos or something?
Aussie Ostrich video show?
And that was Aussie Ostrich on Hey Hey Saturday.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Finally, I've got one of the characters right from Hey Hey Saturday, and he had his own show too. Did he?
Well, he was with Jackie McDonald.
Yes. Yeah.
And do you remember you asked for it? You asked for it,
You asked for it.
and we're gonna take you there. You asked for it. It's a wonderful world out there. And what about That's Incredible? Do you remember that one?
No, I don't think I do. What was that one? What was That's Incredible? Was that another Australian TV show?
No, it was somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
And what about the $6 million?
Oh, how could I forget that? That was classic. We have the technology. We can't rebuild him. That was the Bionic Man. That was so cool, wasn't it?
The Bionic Six, the Incredible Hulk, if you remember that. Okay. The Harry and Ralph show, I don't think you'd remember that.
No, I don't remember that one. Harry and Ralph show.
And He-Man, the Masters
He-Man, I remember for sure. What was that one? The Masters.
of the Universe.
Yes, He-Man, Masters of the
And
Universe.
what about Sounds?
Sounds, yes.
And that had that famous theme song, the Love Theme, I think it is.
Was that Sounds? Yeah.
Yes.
Harry White's love theme. Yeah.
Yeah, so we hope that you've enjoyed our trip down memory lane. And coming up on Northern Beaches Radio very soon, we'll be talking about and playing some of the hits from some of those shows, and the message that we close the show with each week or every 2 weeks. Okay, please don't be a fool with 000. It is not a number to be mucked around with. Here's Alec now for his closing sequence on this.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Always a good message. Community service announcement. Only use 000 in an emergency.
And until we meet again, we see you again on episode 112 coming up in a couple of weeks. We'll be talking about how to organize a radio show. Well, we don't need to tell you, but Alec and I are looking forward to bringing you those theme songs on the radio. So until then, guys, at 14 minutes to 5, it's bye from me, Barry Fair, and Alex Taylor. Here he is for his farewell now.
Thanks for having me on the show, mate. Did you want to play a little bit of Greatest American Hero on the way out, or are you going to save that for the radio show?
We'll save that for the radio show.
Awesome.
Okay, so when in our day for
I think it's the 8th of August.
the 8th of August.
Yeah, I just had a little look, and I think we're booked in for the 8th of August.
And
That should be fun.
you've been watching episode 111. This has been a Barry Fair television production. This program is recorded and produced at Oceana. This is Barry Fair bidding you farewell. See you in 2 weeks for episode 112. But until then, as Tony Barbie used to say, keep smiling and bye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, I hope that you have enjoyed episode 111 today. Thank you for joining me on episode 111 today, and I hope that you will all have a great night and take care of yourself and each other. And if you've got a problem, guys, okay, please speak in an adult way about it. Okay, don't fly off the handle. Okay, so I really do hope that you have enjoyed episode 111 today. Okay, and I will be back with you in 2 weeks' time to bring you another great episode. And it will be episode 112 again when we meet. So until then, this is Barry Fair wishing you a very good evening, and take care of yourselves and take care on the roads. But from myself, Barry Fair now, it's a good evening to you and to all the viewers out there. The time is now 2 minutes past 5 on the 14th day of July 2026. Stay tuned for episode 112 coming up in a few weeks. Bye for now.
This program is proudly brought to you by Toyota.